What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through. Times don't fly too high. Be sure to keep the ground in sight. Fly forever if you keep it tight. Love the world but keep the sky on your mind.
Hello. Welcome to another stream here with Vlad and Noob. Hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to another stream, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. All right. So, today we're going to be flying the Fenix A320. I think that's what we're doing today. Yep, that's what we're going to be doing today. All right, I'm just checking up that my mic is working well, which it seems to be. Although it's kind of like slightly too loud if you ask me, but I think it's okay. Yeah, I think it's going okay. I'm not too sure, but yeah. All right, anyway. So today we're going to be flying the Fenix A320 and we're going to be taking it from Vancouver. No, we're going to be taking it to Vancouver. We will be flying out of Seattle-Tacoma International Airport, and we're going to be taking it over to Vancouver in Canada. We're going to do a little hop over the border there. Let's take a quick look outside. All right, the weather seems rather gloomy. Okay, it does seem a little bit gloomy here. You know what, let's take a quick look around. Let's take a quick look around here. Look at that. It is beautiful though. A lot of Delta, Alaska United aircraft that we can see. Alright, it's a good looking airport. I believe this is the default Vancouver. I mean, why do I keep saying Vancouver? This is the default Seattle International Airport scenery here in Microsoft Flight Simulator, which isn't too bad. It's not bad by any means, so yeah, it's pretty cool. It is pretty cool. It's not the best. It is handcrafted, but it's not the best. But yeah, it's not, you know, there's no interior details here. Maybe there are some details in the main terminal, which I'm not too sure about. As a matter of fact, I can see that something going on over there. Yeah. Anyway, we're just gonna go ahead and get to today's flight here. There we go. We're flying Air Canada. All right. I didn't check whether it's a real life flight or not. I don't usually follow real life flights per se on my stream. I just do what makes sense a little bit. That's pretty much it. All right. Okay. Beautiful, beautiful aircraft. The Fenix A320. It's absolutely stunning. The model is great. As you all know, it's ridiculously good. Not just that, this aircraft flies like a dream. Usually everything works. Fingers crossed. Usually it's the one that I have least issues with from gate to gate. The Fenix A320. So let's see how it turns out today. We got our GPU connected here. External power. Which is fantastic. Alright. Let's jump on in then without further delay. Okay. There we are. Okay. Alright. Let's go overhead. Energize battery 1, battery 2, external power. Crew oxygen supply, ground control for the voice recorder. Emergency lights to armed. Let's put our passenger signs on here. Nav and logo lights can come on. We'll put our strobe lights to automatic today. Let's put our IRS systems to nav. There we go. That is enough right now. We're on external power. No need to turn on the APU just yet. Let's go down to the tablet. Let's import our flight plan from SimBrief, which is right here. KSEH is CYVR. Yeah, I don't care about the time that's specified in SimBrief. I don't really care about it, so. Excellent. Let's go down to ground services. We got our GPU connected chokes and cones and all that stuff. Mass and balance. Planned. This is correct. So we can load the aircraft directly from here if we want to, which is what I'm going to do. Boarding and refueling using GSX, which should not be an issue for Fenix A320. So we've asked for boarding. All right, we're going to wait for the IRS alignment here. Everything else is looking good. Making sure the parking brake is on, which it is. And we are good. Okay. We are looking good. We don't need to do anything here. So, great. Let's just go in there. We've got our jetway attached. We've got our cargo bay area opening up there. Oh, look at the level of detail in there. That's fantastic. Great. It's very well done. Yeah, it's the textures perhaps could be a little more advanced, maybe Inible's level perhaps, but I don't see that making much of a difference, in all honesty. I think it's already fantastic the way it is. I love it. So, oh, there's a fuel truck. Fuel trucks come by. Alaska has just taken off. That's a 737. Looks like perhaps a Max. I don't know. All right, let's wait for these guys to connect up the fueling from the underground tank here. I don't think the tank is actually there. I think it's just a pipe point right here. It's a pipe point, and then let's wait for them to connect it up. So yeah. Da-na-da, da-na-da. Let's see how this goes. Da-na-da, da-na-da. Dee-nee-nee-nee-nee. All right, come on, mister. Yeah, plug it up. Plug it in, rather. Good job. It is a very lovely aircraft to operate in. Today we're using the CFM variant. Without the sharklets. There we go. Refueling has begun. We can see the meter running there. So yeah, we're using the CFM engine variant, which I believe sounds nice. I like the sound of the CFM engines, and we're using the version with the wingtips, but not the sharklets. I forget what these are called. The name is escaping me, but that's going on here. Passenger boarding is happening, as we can see from the windows. Saw some passengers going in there. They are. We got GSX boarding happening successfully. If we actually take a peek there, that's happening. Good. Can we see through this glass? No, we can't, but it's happening. And I don't know why they are boarding through the door that's right here, which is okay. So that's happening, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. We got our passengers. Boarding right there. Just gonna wait for those. Now, since passengers are already boarding, we can run the APU and get some air going, right? We don't want our passengers to have a bad experience. Quite frankly, I couldn't care less about the passengers, to be honest with you. But still, let's just go ahead, turn on our APU here. We'll start it up. We'll turn on the APU bleed for our passengers to be able to enjoy that. All right. Okay, great. What's going on? Okay, we've got our refueling successful. We've got 10 kgs extra fuel than planned, which is okay. And we've got 179. Only 49 have boarded out of 179. That's gonna use a bit of fuel here. Okay, anyway, while that's happening, let's go down here and let's get our FMC, or rather the MCDU, programmed here. If we come to SimBrief, we've got our flight plan right here. Okay, we've got our flight plan right here, so let's use that. KSEA/CYVR. We're gonna put that in right there. Brilliant. Cost index is 21. That is rather low. Cruising altitude is 200. FL 200. That's fine. Let's move on here. Zero fuel weight center of gravity, and our block fuel. Now, our block fuel is given as 4.8, I believe. So let's put that in at 4.8. Okay, and our zero fuel weight center of gravity. Now, we're gonna have to wait for this loading to finish to get the accurate data on the zero fuel weight and zero fuel weight center of gravity. Okay, since we don't have the estimated stuff, we're just gonna wait for this to load up, which shouldn't be too long, hopefully. Okay, we've already used a kg of fuel here. Come on, I need the boarding to be a little quicker. The pack's running for the passengers, so gonna wait. Estimated zero fuel weight is 61 kgs. So let's see how it actually turns out. All right. In terms of performance as well, we've got a calculator here, a performance calculator here, which is fairly accurate. So that's what I'm gonna be using. So let's just wait for that boarding process and the cargo to finish up. And until then, what we can do here is let's put our local pressure correctly. There we go. Flaps are up. That's all set. Yep, we've got nothing else to do here apart from wait for the boarding process to finish up. So I'm gonna let that happen. There we go. We've got our cargo pellets loading up. Everything is going to the back today. Oh, there's one for the front as well. Brilliant. Cargo loading is baggage, cargo and baggage. Swissport. Okay, let that happen. As soon as that finishes up, I'm gonna go ahead and finish with the McDo. Okay, cargo loading has finished successfully, which is fantastic. Now we're just pretty much waiting on passengers to get their butts into the plane so we can get on out of here. But yeah, as you can tell, the entire process of using GSX and boarding and everything is very smooth with the Fenix A320, which I really enjoy. Usually it is a bit of a procedure with other aircrafts, but with Fenix it's just click of a button. So I really enjoy that. I do enjoy that. Although GSX, kind of makes it a little bit more realistic if you use the menu. You call for different things individually, but if you're willing to look past that, I think this is excellent. So yeah. Technically cargo loading has finished, but visually we got one more pellet to be loaded there, so just gonna let that happen. Right, come on, drive away already. Okay, aircraft loaded, dismiss that. So, zero fuel weight has come down to exactly what we want, 6132.5. So let's put that in there, 61/32.5. There we go. Alright, that's done. Now let's go to our flight plan for the day. Let's have a look at what we have. So, out of KSCA, our departure here today is out of runway 16 left. And we are going to be using Mon 2. Mon November 2. So we're going to insert that. Then we're gonna go to where are we gonna go? SCA. Interesting. So let's put in SEA after Mon 2, which is here. We'll clear that out. Oh, because we got a manual there. Okay, that's fine. We're gonna go direct to PAE. So let's put that in PAE. Okay, and we're gonna choose the one that's just 28 nautical miles away from us. Followed by our arrival, which is Grizz 7. So let's do that. Arrival using, into runway 8 left, we will use the ILS Z. We're going to use that one right there. Transition at PAE, and we're going to insert all of that. Great. Should we keep this manual stuff? I don't know. But we are looking good here, apart from this as well. So we got 2 manual stuff there. So we can double check that. We can double check that, right? Yeah, we can remove the manual, so why not? Clear the manual, insert it, and let's get rid of that flight plan discontinuity there. Insert that, and let's go back to the flight plan. We've got another manual, and we're gonna remove the next one as well there. Brilliant. We're gonna insert that. Good, ladies and gentlemen, good. And we are done. I don't know why it says peak over here when we really don't need to go that way, but let's see. Let's look at the plan mode. Yeah, everything else is looking fine. Everything else is looking fine. I'm just gonna leave it the way it is. Let's see how it ends up being. Let's just see how it ends up being, shall we? So yeah. As a matter of fact, I think I want to remove that, don't I? Let me try and get rid of this peak here. So let me clear that and clear that. Clear that and clear that. Yeah, I'll leave it like this. There we go. That's much better. I'm gonna leave it like that. Gonna go to a nav mode here. We're gonna reduce the range. Turn on FD on both sides. Let's put that. Whoa, is FD on? It is on. Okay, let me. Oh, we don't have performance data in here yet. Okay, my bad. So performance. For performance data, let's come here. Running out of fuel. We need to get out of here. I'm joking. We've got plenty of fuel. Let's sync all the load sheets. Sync the weather in there as well. Let's calculate what needs to be calculated, and we're gonna send it to our Mach2 there, and there it is. Perfect. Okay, flight plan. We're gonna go to progress there. So yeah. Okay, manage mode available now. On heading and speed, let's go towards 10,000 feet initial climb out, and then from there we'll go to 20,000. Manage mode available there as well. Flight director is working as intended, and our local pressure is set correctly, so we are ready to get on out of here. Let's actually go ahead and request our pushback, and for this takeoff we need our nose to the left. Okay, that's what we need. So pushback, we need nose to the left. That's what we need. Okay. Let's put our transponder ready, and we've got a bunch of PWS systems and stuff like that we need to look at. Did I just press that correctly? Interrupt pushback? No, absolutely not. Oh, there are the marshals right there going in. So yeah. All right. Good. We could turn on the pumps already and turn on the beacon lights and stuff, so we'll do that in a bit. Also set our auto brake to max soon. Ground spoilers armed and all that good stuff, so we'll do that. Okay, we are getting connected to the pushback, which is fantastic. Nose to the left, ladies and gentlemen, is what we want, right? So we're gonna pick that up in a second. Alright, come on. Ask us which way we want our aircraft to go, Mr. GSX. I don't know why it's not asking us that. Hello. Okay, there we go. Nose to the left, please. Thank you very much. Let's release our parking brake here. Let's wait for the aircraft to start being pushed back before we get our lights going for the beacon. Waiting for pushback to commence. Come on, why is it taking so long? Hello? Hello? Oh, we got wheel chocks on, that's why. Now I realize it. We got wheel chocks on, which we don't want, and we got GP on, which we don't want. Now we should begin moving. Yes, we have. Okay, my bad. Alright, let's turn on these right here. Let's turn on our beacon lights right there as well. Okay, good. Everything here is looking good and ready for engine start here. Let's put that to ignition, and engine number 2 can get itself going. Okay, there we go. Let's take a look out of this side.
Ladies and gentlemen, please observe the cabin crew member closest to you as we are about to demonstrate the safety features of our Airbus A320 aircraft. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard our Airbus A320. Please pay attention to illuminated signs and crew instructions, including the following. The safety card found in your seat pocket contains important information about exit routes, oxygen masks, life jackets, and the brace position, which you must adopt if you hear.
Okay, let's put our flaps down.
There are 8 emergency exits on this aircraft. The cabin crew are now pointing out the exits nearest to you. Please be aware that your nearest
There we go.
exit may be behind you. Emergency lighting will guide you to an exit.
Pushback coming to an end. Almost
All baggage on board.
there.
Your seatbelt is fastened. Adjust
Almost there.
east as shown. It must be
Pushback is coming to an end. Alright, let's see how this goes here. Let's see how it goes. How it goes. Okay.
air supply fails.
I'm gonna put my parking brake right there. Lil Jit. What plane? This is the Fenix A320-200. This is the Fenix A320-200. Okay, engine number 1. Let's get that going. Excellent. Do we have anything here that we need? We'll wait for the engine to finish. Okay, auto brake to max. Ground spoilers to armed. Come on. Come on, ground spoiler. Why won't you arm? Oh, there we go. Okay, there we go. All right, okay. Lil Jit says, nice, I just got the game. Oh, cool, man. Cool, you got Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. How is that going for you? So yeah, that is great. It's a pretty cool one, if I'm being honest. It's nice. Okay, we've got our people out of the way. Let's get some stuff going here. Firstly, we need to go overhead and we're going to turn off our APU bleed. And our APU itself, let's go and turn on the taxi light right there. And then let's go ahead and yeah, that's enough for overhead stuff, I believe. Let's come down here. And let's put our PWS wind shear prediction to automatic system 1. Yeah, this is good the way it is. Ignition to normal. What's your favorite plane? This is actually one of my favorite planes, to be honest. This is one of my favorite planes right here. Altitude reporting is on for now, so we can leave it the way it is. We can go ahead and taxi our aircraft. So I'm going to release the parking brake here. Get ourselves moving little by little. Company messages, I'm going to ignore them for now. We don't need to worry about it. So yeah, we're on our way to the end of the runway right there, right? So I'm just going to give it a bit of throttle to help us move along here. So this is one of my very favorite aircrafts in the game, but if you're asking me my favorite aircraft in general, that would be the Boeing 777. That would be the Boeing 777. What about you? Which one do you fancy? Okay. Maybe we're going a little too fast there. But I don't really mind that, to be honest with you. Okay, there we go. We'll test our takeoff configuration. Just make sure all the calls are done. And let's do the takeoff test. There we go. Done. Alright, Cessna 172. That is your favorite aircraft. Of all of them that you could be flying, you like the Cessna. Alright. The Cessna is a good aircraft. It is. But yeah, I find difficulties when I try to fly the 172. So I've never really been able to enjoy it that much. Oh, look at that. We've got aircrafts flying right, going right through us. So that is interesting. Oh, look at that. Look at the effect that we got some water splashing there as the aircraft takes off. That's really cool. That's really cool. We'll be able to hopefully see that. I'm not too sure. Okay, seems like we've got a queue ahead of us for takeoff. So we've got plenty of traffic here doing its thing. So let's see. Yeah, we're a little too close there, but yeah. Passengers must be not having a comfortable ride with all this braking going on, but you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. Okay, so let's do... we're still good here. It's a little too early for the lights to come on and stuff, so just gonna leave it the way it is. Just gonna leave it the way it is. Said your yoke is still coming in, so I have not looked at the other planes. Oh. Well, if you have a controller, you can use that. Like right now I'm using an Xbox controller to fly. I do have a joystick, but today I'm not using it, so it's actually more difficult with an Xbox controller in my opinion. So you could try though with an Xbox controller till your yoke gets delivered there. Oh, the planes have actually disappeared there, so that clears us for takeoff pretty much since we're not using ATC. So let's just go ahead and get our takeoff going here. The traffic has suddenly just disappeared. Obviously FSLTL is not perfect, so we have some issues. Oh great, that's what you're already using. Oh come on, someone just got in front of us, but I'm gonna ignore that aircraft right there. I'm gonna ignore it. We can't just keep waiting forever, so we need to get up off the ground. So yeah, we're coming up on the 40-minute mark, so we need to get up out of the ground. So I'm gonna ignore this guy right here, and we're gonna go in, okay? So I'm just gonna pump the brakes for just a second here while we do the preparations, final preparations for landing. Let's put our TCAS on there. All the wind shear and all that stuff, predictive wind shear stuff, is all ready. On, we've got our landing lights. Let's put that on. Nose light to take off. Runway turn off lights. Why not? Strobe lights can come on as well, and we're pretty much ready. Let's release our parking brake and get on out of here with our takeoff, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, good. Good. Put our VOR 1 on. That's fine. Can leave it off. Okay. There we go. And let's go ahead and push our speed up. It's about a 1 hour flight. I think the whole thing is 1 hour. Oh god, I hate it when it does this. But it's okay. We're gonna be fine. I think it's about 1 hour. But not more than that. Definitely not more than that. Okay, V1. Let me just rotate. There we go. Let's put that on up there. Just switch on autopilot. There we go. There we go. Out of Seattle just like that. Yeah, it's a 1 hour flight. It's a 1 hour flight. Yeah, it's effectively a 1 hour flight. We should make it in about 45. Okay, let's put that thrust lever to climb. Flaps can go up slowly, although that's a little early for it. Ground spoilers disarmed there. Okay, good. Nose lights can come off. Runway turn off light off. Everything else can remain on for the time being. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to Vancouver. We're going to Vancouver. We just took off from Seattle and we're going to Vancouver. There we go. Looking nice and lovely. Looking nice and lovely. There it is, just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Okay. Our transition altitude should be around 18,000 feet or something like that. I'm not too sure though. Wow. See if we can see the ground. Nope, it's all gone. Very nice. Hey. Look at that. It's just completely... We're in the cloud. Just gray and gray-blue everywhere. That's it. Look at that. Coming up on 7,000 feet, let's change the range here. Let's change the range there as well. So, there we go. See, we're less than 120 nautical miles from our destination as it is. There's a top of descent in like less than 60 nautical miles, so we are not far off at all. It's a short little hop, and I hope there's tailwind, which makes it a little quicker for us, right? See. Okay, there comes 10,000 feet. You can go ahead and turn off that, put that into automatic. And let's retract and switch off our landing lights there. That is brilliant. And let's go towards 20,000 feet, which is our final cruising altitude. Yep, once again, everything else is looking good here. Company messages, which we are gonna ignore. They don't really practically impact anything. Good, everything is looking good. There we go. Climb thrust setting, that is correct. Climbing to altitude, hopefully that's cruising altitude right there. Navigation, that's nav mode is on and we're good. There we go. Break in the clouds, and we are about to pop up over the clouds, which is excellent. Just making sure we haven't missed anything, which we haven't. And there we are, ladies and gentlemen. Brilliant. Look at that. We'll take a look at some cinematic views now. Look at that. Oh, we're back in... Should be breaking through here. Yes, we are. There we go. Those are some lovely views, man. Fantastic. About 3,000 feet away from our cruising altitude. It's not going to be long at all. We're going to be staying at the cruising altitude. It's a very, very short plateau there, so. Ooh, look at that. Wow. Brilliant. That is an absolutely mesmerizing view. How long you been flying? Flying in general? A really long time. A really long time. I started flight simming about 12, 13 years ago is when I started flight simming. But YouTube, not that long. Not that long at all. And I keep coming in and out of YouTube. I need to get more consistent, but flight simming in general, I've been doing that a long time. Wow, look at that. That is just beautiful. You said that you just got the game, so are you like new to flight simming, or you're a newcomer, or are you someone who's used to flight simming but just new to Microsoft Flight Sim or something like that? Okay, we've reached 20,000 feet. Let's just take a quick look in our cockpit here. Yep, there we go, 20,000 feet. We forgot to do the change the QNH to standard once we passed 18,000, but that's okay. So as you can tell, we are less than 60 nautical miles away from our destination at this point, so we're already there practically. Yeah, top of descent is coming up as well. You're new, so you're entirely new to flight simming. Oh, welcome, man. It's a fun little world. It's a fun little world, especially if you're into aviation. It's pretty fun. I mean, even if you're not, it's a very, very nice, fun, relaxing thing to do. What is that warning? Anti-ice. Oh, okay. Fine, that's okay. Engine ice is detected, so we need some anti-ice. Let's do that. Not a problem. There we go. Anti-ice is on. Icy conditions, no problem. So yeah, it's a really fun world, and the best part is the flight sim community in general. They're very nice. So the flight sim community in general, although it's much smaller than other gaming communities and hobbies and stuff like that, it's a very nice community, very supportive. Everyone's very much interested in the bettering of the hobby and the industry, if you would like to call it. It's not that large, but still. So it's a very nice, friendly space. So yeah, that's not something that's usually found, Of all the online communities, one of the best is the flight sim community. So yeah. You should check out some YouTube channels, flight simmers and stuff. You can get all sorts of tutorials and everything you need. You can find them. There's lots of channels I could recommend to you as well if you wanna. I'm going to sub. Well, that's very nice of you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Lil Jit. I appreciate that, man. It goes a long way, obviously, especially for a small content creator like me. It keeps me motivated, so that's much appreciated. Thank you. So yeah, you can find lots of tutorials. I have made some tutorials myself, but you can find lots of tutorials. There are lots of great channels out there. You got some big names, like you got the Q8 Pilot Flight Sim channel where you can learn a lot. You've got Oz Flight Simmer, who's a very fun guy. And we got Jonathan Beckett. He's pretty good. So you got lots of places to learn from. Lots and lots of places on YouTube to learn from. Some great stuff. So yeah, check that all out. Check those channels out. And although in the beginning when you get started in flight sim, it can seem a little overwhelming because there's like so much stuff going on and so many different softwares and connections and this and that, but once you get a hang of it, it's it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Okay, enter destination data. We're already being asked to enter our destination data, so we're not that far. Let's look at arrival. Let's refresh the METAR and apply it. Okay, so we got 120, 10, 10, 16. So let's do 10, 16. Let's put our destination data. Next phase, 10, 16. For minimums, I'm going to use 200 radio. What is the temperature today? It's 12 degrees Celsius in Vancouver, apparently. Wind and magnitude and direction. 120, 10 knots. So let's do that. 120, 10 knots. So there we are. Done. So we had a flight plan there. Optimum is 360, but that's too high for a short flight like this. Top of descent coming up in just like 6 nautical miles or something like that. There we go. Gonna reduce the range just so I can get that accurately. That top of descent right there. And our descent altitude is going to be 4,000 feet. Because we're gonna catch the glide slope at around 4,700 feet. You can see the -3 degrees glide slope there. So I'm gonna set about 4,000, which is a nice even number there. Oh, top of descent has disappeared. You know what? Let's begin descending. Let me just begin our descending. Oh, there it is. There's top of descent. Good. Let it come up, and I'm gonna ask it to descend to 4,000 feet. There we go. Top of descent coming up. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and ask our aircraft to descend now. Since we're descending, I'm just gonna turn on the seatbelt signs and no smoking signs in advance. I'm gonna set our auto brake to low here. And in addition to that, I'm gonna get our ground spoilers. I'm gonna leave them armed. I'm gonna leave them armed here. Okay, that's fine. Okay, I'm just making sure that everything is the way it's supposed to be, which it is. Great. We can have some terrain. What do you think about the Logitech G Pro yoke? Okay. The Logitech G Pro. Now, you've got better options. Depending on how much money you want to spend, you've got better options, I believe. If you want quality, I don't think Logitech G Pro is something that a lot of people use in the flight sim world. I don't think a lot of people use it. Okay. I've not seen a lot of flight simmers using the Logitech G Pro. But it is good for general aviation. If you're flying a lot of Cessnas and stuff like that, it is great. If you want a cheap but extremely effective option, is the Logitech Extreme 3D Pro. So if you fly a lot of airliners or even jet aircraft, one second, let's go ahead and set our barometric pressure here to whatever is locally available, 1016, great. So if you fly a lot of airliners like the Airbus and Boeing and stuff, and you fly a lot of fighter jets, the Logitech 3D, right, the Extreme 3D Pro joystick from Logitech is a very good option. And especially considering its price, it is very good. Now, if you want to go for the G Pro, That's great if you're using general aviation, for general aviation like Cessnas and stuff, and even for flying Boeing, I think it's pretty good. However, you do need to look at the other options. I don't see a lot of people flying using the G Pro though, so take a look at the other options. You do have other options, especially if you're willing to spend a bit more money. You've got some better options out there, so do take a look. If you're on a budget, you've got your Thrustmaster and your 3D Pro. So yeah, unfortunately I don't know a lot of people who actually use it. But it seems pretty good. It seems to have great reviews all round. It does. Yeah. It does seem to have great reviews. What I find, legit, one of the things I find is no matter what your setup is, it's always beneficial to have a joystick on its own as well. Because it's so versatile, it's very useful to have that as well. So that's something to keep in mind. Plus, are you going to be having rudder pedals? Because are you going to have separate rudder pedals, or you're just going to use some other controls for it? That's another important question. Okay, great. Let's have a look at... Wow, these cloud formations are really incredible. They are beautiful. Man, look at that. Goodness me. Out of this world stuff. Some crazy stuff there. Let's take a bit of a cinematic gander at it. We're descending now. You can kind of tell. Let's take a look. Check that out. Oh, 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 oh. That is a mistake on my part. Come on. A bit of an issue with... Okay, there we go. Beautiful. That deserves a screenshot there. Yeah, it does. I'm gonna go ahead and take one. There we go. Beautiful stuff. Good. Alright. Very nice. 10,000 feet. So let's go ahead and turn on our landing lights here. I'll leave the runway turn off lights on as well, why not? Everything else is looking good. And descent is looking good. Let's increase the range on that. Let's decrease the range on that. There we go. There we go. There's our runway, I believe, and there is our missed approach. Yeah, there you go. Good. Trying to reduce speed there. I should come back to this view. Good. Below 10,000 feet. Lights are on. Auto brake armed. Ground spoilers have been left armed, although we'll need to use it probably. So yeah, everything is looking good. We're a little too fast, in my opinion, but let's see how this turns out. There is the runway we're landing at, just One turn around. U-turn, and we are in. There we go. I'll turn on the localizer as soon as we're lined up with the runway. As soon as we make that final turn, I'm going to turn the localizer on. I've prepared Sky Dolly for our landing replay today. Hopefully that works. Still trying to slow down towards 250 knots. I think we need to give it a bit of speed brake action here to help it to slow down. Yeah, we definitely do. So I'm going to extend the speed brake here. Help our aircraft to slow down a little bit more there. And lose altitude at the same time. In fact, I'm just going to go full speed brake. Okay. We need to slow down. Bring that speed brake halfway. And we are slowing down as well. That's good. Down towards 7,000 feet, somewhere there. Okay. We're looking good. Okay. Bring our slats down. Slats are coming out. Let's put that back up and let's arm it. Okay, let's bring our spoilers down, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, flaps down. Sorry, my bad. Bringing our flaps down in preparation for landing. We're about to make that final turn. We're a little bit slow on our landing preparations here. That's okay. We can put our flaps down. Position number 2. Okay, brilliant. Looks good. Okay, we can go position number 3 as well. Okay, I think that's full though. I think that's flaps full. Yeah, it is flaps full. Okay, we've gone flaps full. Landing gear is still up. Anything else we need to do? Okay, everything is looking good here. In terms of lights, everything is looking good so far. I don't think we need the anti-ice systems anymore. So I'm going to turn those off. Brilliant. Final turn to come in and land. As soon as we make that turn, I'm going to go ahead and get our localizer going. So let's see how that goes, eh? Once again into the clouds here. Nice little wing flex going on. Let's take a quick look here. Beautiful. Yeah, there we go. Got water underneath us. Great. That's our final turn being made. Okay. Lining up with the runway with that turn, and then I'm going to need to use the localizer to get ourselves ready. We're still at 4,000 feet though. Around 4,700 is where the glide slope begins. Remember that. So you can actually go ahead now. Ask it to capture the localizer for us. Localizer has been caught. Switching to LS. Glide slope is right there. Approach mode on. Glide slope has been caught successfully. Great. Let's just wait for that lineup before we drop our gear. Ladies and gentlemen. There we go. There is the runway coming up. Okay. Brilliant. Let's see if we can see anything. No, we can't. We're in the dark. Oh, we're not in the dark, but you get my point. We cannot see a thing. Okay. Let's just check our barometric pressure. Okay, that's accurate. Minimum 200. I think I need to reduce that to 150 because given this visibility, otherwise we're gonna have to declare a go around, something that I hate doing. So I like to stick that landing no matter how difficult it is. It's what makes it fun for me. So I know it's not realistic, but that's what makes it fun. Let's see. This is not a particularly easy aircraft to land. At least for me. I've always had difficulty with the A320. Particularly using a controller. So let's see how this goes today, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for me to drop the gear. Yeah, it is time to drop the landing gear for sure. We're at 3,000 feet. I need to drop the gear any second. Need to drop the gear any second.
$2,500.
Okay, let's just drop it. There we go. Landing gear getting dropped. Perfect. Let's go ahead and start sky dolly. Sky dolly has been started. Let's put our nose gear light to takeoff position, basically landing as well. Runway turn off on, wing lights are off. Oh, there it is. There it is. We've got visibility right there. There's Vancouver right ahead of us. We got an 18 knot crosswind. Landing checklist complete. Let's just make sure all the calls are done. Ignore all company messages for now, and we are ready to land, ladies and gentlemen. So 1,000 feet coming up. Time to take manual control, and we're gonna fly it in manually. So it's gonna be interesting here. Let's see. Getting ready to disconnect autopilot. $1,500 feet. Crosswind is not a joke today. Hopefully there's no turbulence as we come in. Let's see how this goes. Okay, coming into land. 1,000 feet almost.
1,000.
Okay. Hi, aircraft. Today we are not able to follow this properly.
500.
Oh, come on.
100 above.
A little low.
Minimum. $100. $20. Retard. 5.
Okay. That was a late landing. A little long there. we're okay. There we go. Let's put our flaps up. Let's put that down. Let's get our landing lights, runway turn-off lights, strobe lights, all of that off. Let's put that down to taxi there. Good. All right. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Vancouver. That was a long landing. Not the best landing in the world. That was long for sure. But not the worst. That was an unstable approach in all honesty. I'm just going to park it straight in. I'm going to take a look at the landing replay. See how that went. Okay? So let's see how that goes. There we go. Slow that aircraft down. I don't have a brake pedal. Having a button brake is very, very disadvantageous. But yeah, okay. Come on, right there. Ooh, very rough on the brake there. But anyway, here we are. We have made it. So before I do anything with it, let's go ahead and take a look at the landing replay. Let's see on a scale of 1 to 10 how terrible it actually was. It wasn't terrible, but it was not good either, so I'm gonna switch to drone mode here. Gonna bring that right here. Right here. Yeah, I think right here is good. Yeah, I think that's good. And then we're gonna zoom in a little bit. Gives it a better view right there, and we're gonna move out. There we go. That is what we want. Perfect. A bit more from the side there. There we go. All right. Sky dolly done. Rewinding. Okay. Let's put that back here and we'll put it on the runway. Bring that camera around. We'll do it right here. Yeah, there we go. That'll give us a very good view of how the landing went. Yeah, that is a long landing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's see the landing replay. Coming into Vancouver. Able to stabilize the aircraft on the glide slope. Let's see how the actual landing went. There we go. That's the ideal touchdown zone right underneath us. A little long there, but the actual touchdown a little off to the left. Not too terrible though. Not too terrible. And remember, the spoilers don't work for the Fenix in the replay mode with Sky Dolly. So just letting you know, our spoilers did deploy. Just doesn't work in the replay mode, so yeah. So did our reverse thrusts as well. They don't work either, so not in the replay mode they don't work, but the actual landing they did deploy. Okay, so let's go back. Take a look at that landing from another point of view. Perhaps from the back. Let's try that. Let's take a look at that landing from the back, right here. Like this is better, right? Yeah, we'll do it like this. Okay, let's try that. Let's check that out from other views, ladies and gentlemen. I'll go right here. That's a bit too much. This is good enough for this. Let's try this view. How about that? Okay, not bad at all. So the entire flight actually ended up taking less than 1 hour. It actually took about 45 minutes like I predicted right after takeoff. It just took around 45 minutes for us to get from Seattle to Vancouver. Let's go ahead and take a look at the other side of the cabin. So let's do that. All right. There we go. There we go. Nice. Very, very nice. Alright. Hope you guys enjoyed those landing replays. Let's now go ahead and shut down our aircraft, assuming it's going to be okay when we pick it up where we left off. So, absolutely lovely Vancouver airport, looking beautiful. Alright. Alright. Great. Fantastic. Alright, we're gonna now go ahead all the way back to the parking where we left our aircraft, and let's go ahead and shut it down, right? Let's do that, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do that. So, let's just fast forward through this, shall we? There we go. Back to our parking. Don't tell me there's another aircraft where we parked. Oh my gosh. Why? Just why would there be another aircraft? That's ridiculous. You know what? If there is one, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and reset the traffic. Yeah, there is another aircraft. So I'm just gonna reset the traffic here so we get rid of it. There we go. Brilliant. Okay, so let's go ahead and turn on our APU here, ladies and gentlemen. APU bleed can come on. Let's turn on that APU right there. Let's turn off our strobe lights here. Beacon lights can remain on. Everything else is off, which is how it's supposed to be. You can kind of turn these off a little bit, I guess. I'm actually gonna wait for the APU to be available now before we can actually do anything. So, transponder off, and so does altitude reporting need to be off as well. This is all set, as we can tell. Predictive wind shear off. System 1, 2 off, hopefully. Yep, it is off. This one needs to go off, but it won't let me. So I'm just gonna leave it like that. What else needs to be done? Flight directors can come off here. This one can go back to nav. Actually, arc mode there. This one can be left the way it is. Okay, this one can go back to that. And we've got APU generator available. So we can shut down our engines here. So let's do that. Engine number 1 off. Engine number 2 off. There we go. Brilliant. Brilliant. Let's go down here. Commence deboarding. Deboard, please. Thank you very much. Let's go up here. Let's turn off our IRS systems. Turn off the fuel pumps there. Brilliant. And our crew oxygen supply can come off. Beacon lights can come off. That is all off. Good. Air Canada, thank you very much. Emergency lights disarmed. All the passenger signs off. External power is available. We can connect it. Why not? And nav and logo lights to position number 1. Yeah, there we go. There we go. We're leaving the APU on for the time being, and we've started deboarding the aircraft. Good. Good. Everything here is looking good. Parking brake is on. Double checking that, and we are set, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. So, there we are, ladies and gentlemen, in Vancouver. Deboarding is about to begin. I can't see the passengers going through the glass jetway. We're going to wait for that. The APU is still going, though. So, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to come up here. I'm going to shut down the APU because... Should I shut down the APU? APU is still going. We can see that it is. We've got external power available though, so do we really need APU? I'll wait for the passengers to start deboarding before I turn off the APU. How about that? How about that? I hope we can see the passengers. We should be able to see them though. Or did I not? Oh, there it is. We can finally see our passengers walking through the glass jetway here at Vancouver. Brilliantly optimized for GSX. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that flight. Now that passengers have started exiting the aircraft, I'm gonna go ahead and turn off our APU bleed and our APU as well. I'm gonna leave it on external power there. Brilliant. Brilliant. Okay. With that, I hope you guys enjoyed today's stream. Liljit, thank you so much for tuning into the stream. Thank you very much for your comments, for keeping it lively, and thank you very much for the sub. It is much appreciated. Thank you very much for your subscription. I hope to see you in the future live streams. Do check out my channel. I've got a couple of tutorials and stuff. If you want to get around, you can use my channel or any of the channels that are recommended. So yeah, welcome to Flight Simming. Thank you very much once again. Much appreciated. Check out my videos and yeah, feel free to comment, ask questions. That goes to anybody who was watching my stream. So yeah, I appreciate it very much, guys. I appreciate it very much. So here we are in Vancouver. Okay, that looks lovely. So I'm gonna leave it here for today. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it here for today. Once again, thank you very much for watching, and I shall catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye.